Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dropping Down from the Rafters podcast here on Tone In Entertainment. Today, we've got the head of the dessert table, the leader of the CWO, Stan Stylez here on Tone In Entertainment. How you doing, Stan?
I'm doing good. Just cold here in the creamy kingdom known as Philadelphia.
14 degrees, I think you said earlier, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, man. How do you deal with these cold weather? I mean, it's cold a lot in Pennsylvania, but these like bitter cold nights. Is there anything fun to do but just stay in and just enjoy some quality alone time or personal time?
Go to the gym.
Oh, okay. Do you have to actually go out to the gym, or do you have like a gym at your house?
I have weights at my house, but I'd rather go to the gym. Today I went to the gym because it snowed a little bit. Maybe like 3 inches, but then it got like super icy, but it wasn't too bad. You just gotta suck it up, Buttercup.
That's right. There's no crying and wrestling or podcasting or anything like that. We ain't got time for that. Mm-hmm. Now you said working out. Okay, so one of your staples is the shake a weight. Okay, so I want to get right to that because there was years that went by, like at my job, where we were giving gifts, and people would give the shake a weight as like a gag gift. But the shake weight is no gag for you.
No, it's been my main. Well, no, I wouldn't say one of my main staples gimmicks for like close to 14 years. So yeah, I got it over there. I didn't want to bust it out.
Okay. It's only used for like, I mean, it does have superpowers and special powers and everything. Mine does. Yours does. Yours particulars does. Yes. I should put a disclaimer. I don't want everybody running out to like Walgreens and buying special powered shake-a-weights because only Stan Stylez has a super powered shake-a-weight.
If they do, then all the money should go to me. But but yeah, no, I had that gimmick for a long time. And there's a couple others. I had it. I don't even know if anyone even has it anymore. I don't think they do. But like I literally like done so much with that thing. I had a kendo stick on it. I put thumbtacks and barbed wire on it. And I literally had like the kendo stick and just so many goofy things. I had it light up one time. Like I became a Super Saiyan. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, because I even saw like what was it, Spider Woman? She took it from you one time.
Yeah, Zoey Skye. Yeah, she took it from me. Yep.
That was just really cool. Like, when I'm reaching out to people for podcasts, like I'm always trying to find just interesting people to talk to. And how I actually came across you, and I'm representing a little bit today, is because Airica Demia posted out the flyer for an event that you guys are having in April. And then from there, I started following you guys from there and watching your stuff. I'm like, okay, this is wild. This is fun. This is cool. Like, let's talk about this. Let's dive into like what's going to make like Cream Mania and just your intergender wrestling promotion all together. Just something wild coming up Mania weekend.
Yeah, the biggest one yet. The biggest and creamiest one yet. Cream Mania. Yeah, I just I've been doing the IGB, the Intergender Bonanza, since 2018. So it's been a while. And it was just supposed to be a one-off thing. And it just that one-off show got bigger and bigger and bigger, and took it to Jersey at H2O because I'm real good friends with Matt Tremont, and just from there, it's going to be my 17th show there. So, and it got on IWTV now, and it's one of like, I still say it's still like more of a cult classic, but it's getting bigger and bigger. It's getting more hits on on the stream of IWTV, and more people are like, wow, like I know I call it the Intergender Bonanza, but it's more like just the show that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very lighthearted. It's very silly, goofy. A term I heard actually yesterday, gender neutral company, and I was like, that's a good way to describe it. Like, just there is no genders. We're all wrestlers. We all kick butt. We all have fun, and we have a good time. And so do the fans. The fans absolutely love it. They have so much fun when they come to the show. So, and this one coming up, WrestleMania week in
yeah.
April 3rd, Wednesday night. It's gonna be so wild. I didn't even drop any matches yet. Just a couple of the people are gonna be on it. Some of the talent's gonna be on it, but it's already so wild already.
Yeah, because one of the first guys I actually ever interviewed here on the channel was Effy, and I saw he was, I think, your first announcement on the channel. So anytime Effy's involved with anything, it's going to be wild, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be fun. So it's already, and then I saw Airica Demia obviously was posted on it, and then yesterday you posted Sonny Kiss was going to be on the show as well too.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm bringing all of my close friends, because I knew Sonny I knew her for a long time. Actually, Sonny her first ever like thing in wrestling, I believe, was managing me. That's how far I go back in this business. So, and I reached out to her, and she's like, "Oh, let's go, hell yeah!" Because I'm like, I need to bring out the very best.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mania weekend, and you're kicking it off on like a Wednesday night for that week. Because I know I feel like it's just gonna be crazy up there in Philadelphia that weekend, right?
It already is crazy. It's already going to be
Philly's already crazy.
There's going to be shows galore, but I'm like, yo, like, I want it Wednesday night because I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff Thursday, Friday, so much stuff, WWE, and I'm like, let's just start off with a big bang, like the biggest bang ever. Let's go Cream Mania. Let's go super hard, super good, super fun.
Yeah, what I like about your shows is that a lot of the names are like throwbacks to like WCW times and stuff like that, like the logos and everything. So it's like, again, it just shows the fun that you're having. Like, we know it's not Halloween Havoc. It was what was it? It was Hallow Cream Havoc or whatever, right?
I can't take credit for that. Actually, a buddy of mine came up with that, and he told me, and I was like, oh, that's the name. And How the CWO Stole Christmas, the last one, actually, the woman who does my graphics came up with that. She gave me a bunch of names. I'm like, oh, it has to be that.
Yeah, because another one was World War Cream, which was like the WCW one from back in the days too. So I'm like, I just got so excited just looking when I first saw your Instagram, and I'm like, okay, you've got just wild and crazy fun stuff. You've got WCW references, like. I'm like, okay, well, I wish you were closer to Miami so we could watch some of these shows live. And I want to give you some compliments because, like, I go to a lot of live shows down here in Florida, and obviously I'm watching your stuff on YouTube, and even the way your stuff translates on YouTube, because sometimes when you watch matches back on YouTube, they're not that fun, they're not that exciting. I've been watching them for the past like 2 weeks since we set up this interview, and I was just laughing. I'm just having fun with it, and it's just it's like a good freaking time that you guys seem to be having while you're putting on these shows.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. You got to love what you're doing. I love to make people laugh, because laughter is the best form of communication. So, and literally that's all I really do in wrestling. So, and I feel like Stan Stylez can be a very good, he can be a very good babyface, a very good heel. And he can be a very good comedy relief character and more of a serious character too. So I like to range myself, because I feel like that's part of my longevity, doing this so long, almost 14 years next month. So it's just, I always try to find different ways to evolve myself and get great. I get bored too, and I just want to get creative and just not stay stagnant. And it's helped me all this. I tell young talent all the time, like, you got to always adapt and just think outside the box and try to recreate yourself. They do it in WWE. You got to do it. You got to do it in the indies too.
You certainly do. And one of the things I like too is, like, I'm not sure the exact name, but I'm just calling it like the power of the pants. The layers that come off, and just I saw you it was a triple threat match and knocking Zayda Steel back, and just whoever you can throw the pants off, just like, are they loaded? What's going on with the pants?
They were dubbed one of the most what was it again? I can't. Now I'm having a brain fart here. One of the most devastating moves in wrestling, or one of the most someone named it not the most, yeah, something like the most devastating or most lethal, one of the most lethal moves in all of professional wrestling, like is Stan Stylez pants. And that just came as literally all the stuff I do literally came on accident. I would say like 85 to 90% of it came by accident. This came by accident.
Well, that's the best way, because when you think too many things out, like some people like overthink stuff, and it's best when it just comes natural.
Yeah, always.
Now let's get into the whipped cream, because I mean you're a heavy connoisseur of the whipped cream. So how did that all begin? And I mean, is there any match that goes by now that you don't use whipped cream in some sort in your matches?
I was dubbed the Dairy Daddy, the King of Cream, the Undisputed King of Cream, the Cream Apocalypse. I honestly, the shake weight and it's all literally just came by accident. I just was like, I just wanted to come out with something different. I wanted to come out with cream so I can put it in girls' mouths and they would like me. So that was my first reason to do it, and I just did it. And I pretty much had the cream first, and then I came with the shake weight, and then the pants came last. And then I would say around like 2016, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna use all these gimmicks, and I'm just gonna be like the shake weight supreme, the king of cream, and the master of many pants. And that was my gimmick, and that's who I became. Like, I'm the cream, the shake weight, the pants. But out of all three, like the cream definitely is the most noticed and seems to have the biggest reaction. All of them do, but the cream is just like, I'm the cream of the crop top. I have a crop top too. And then I came up with the head of the dessert table. But yeah, just everything on accident, and I pretty much just kept going with it. It was almost like, you remember that show? I don't even know if they have it on TV anymore. It was called Chopped on Food Network. You ever heard of that?
Which one was it?
It was called Chopped, where like you had ingredients in a basket and you had to like make a meal.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It was pretty much like wrestling gave me a shake weight and cream, and Terry Penn said, "Here you go, Stan, make it work." And I just did all these years. I just did it.
Now let's play both sides of the table. Okay, so you're using whipped cream as this prop here.
Yeah.
Okay, has like Ready Whip or Cool Whip or any of those places ever reach out to you as far as like sponsorships, or have they ever reached out to you and said, please stop using our product in this manner?
I wish. If they did, I'll be like, nah, like, no, I really need to, like, I pretty much tweeted them, or now it's X, whatever it's called, and said, hey, sponsor me. Other people like sponsor Stan Stylez. Never. I do wonder. I get so busy, but I do want to like reach out to like maybe like an off-brand like whipped cream like company and see if they would sponsor me. Maybe I can help out, because I mean I use it on weekly on matches. Why not put my face on it? Put the logo on it. Why not?
You think that would be easy marketing? I mean, it's just like gallons and gallons of this stuff. I mean, I've seen you even get thrown into like a swimming pool of whipped cream, or you were choke slammed, I should say, by Little Mean Kathleen into a tub of whipped cream in the middle of the squared circle.
Yeah, that was fun. It was refreshing.
It's so funny because you say like you kind of used it as like a thing to like maybe get girls to like you, but it seems like it does the opposite, because they tend to smack you around or throw you into it, or it seems
they use my gimmick against me. It's just another storytelling in a match you could do with Stan Stylez. You use my own gimmicks against me.
I see Yesenia Nunez is in the chat. She says hello, and Yesenia, if you have any questions for Stan, let us know. And I'm sure she's a hardcore wrestling fan, so I'm sure she would have some good questions. So let's go back. I mean, you said you've been doing this for 14 years now. Wow. Okay. So how did the journey begin? Like, where did it all start?
Man, oh shoot, from the very beginning. Well, I used to be a backyard wrestler with all my friends in high school and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? It's time to like take this seriously, because people were saying like, I always was big into like fitness, and they're like, you should like, really like start to train. I always wanted to be a professional wrestler, but back in those days, man, there wasn't as many. There's so many good schools now. Like, there really is. There's so many more outlets for young talent. Because there's young talent. There's some girls now that are 19, 20 who are awesome. And I'm like, holy crap. and not just guys too. Holy crap! Like there was nothing like that really when I started. So, like any young whippersnapper, I'm like, and I go get trained, got trained, and pretty much, the rest is history. And I just kept on. I always had like a take on character. I always wanted to have a really crazy character because I always relevated to, like, I watch TV, like the crazy characters wrestling, because I started with like, like the Rick Rude, the Hogans, and every Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, all those characters. Really, I was like, oh my god, I want to have a crazy character, and then I just kept on building myself up, and really started to understand who Stan Stylez really was over all these years.
Yesenia Nunez does have a question, and she wants to know if you've ever met the Vampire Warrior Gangrel.
I have not. I wish. I've met Edge and I met Christian, but I never met Gangrel.
That Gangrel's one of the best. He's again one of the first people I ever got to interview on the channel, and actually helped me get my start here on Tone Entertainment. So I do owe a lot to Gangrel, and one of the nicest guys in the whole entire world.
He's very nice. Yeah, I've met a lot of wrestlers, but I never met Gangrel. But I do like. I am a Gangrel fan. The music, the Brood music.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I mean, you got Edge and Christian AEW now. I'm surprised they haven't thought of some spot for him to come in here and wreak a little havoc.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know. Now, I did see you posted like a story on Instagram the other day, and you talked about 90s television. Again, I'm a 90s guy. Like I love the 90s, from the music to the television shows or anything. Is there anything from the 90s that you wish would make a comeback?
Well, I feel like Ninja Turtles is kind of making a comeback.
I feel like it never goes away, to be honest. Right?
I love it. Oh, man. You can't recreate that now. Like it doesn't resonate to these kids anymore. Like I show my niece and nephews like Ninja Turtles from the 80s, the real Ninja Turtles,
the real one. Yes,
like, this ain't the real Ninja Turtles. I'm like, yeah, it is, and I'm like, and it just even what is it, Shredder's Revenge, like the fighting game that just came out.
Yes, I played that one too.
Oh, it was so good. Me and my sister were like, yo, this is badass, and we're like trying to get our niece and our son and daughter to watch, and they're like, oh, we want to play Roblox, and we're like, Roblox, let's beat up foot soldiers. Like, come on. Generation.
Yeah, because I remember going and playing like the TMNT arcade game, and just before you could play it on Nintendo, I was pumping quarters into it, probably $50 of quarters to beat the damn game, and then they release it on Nintendo.
Another thing you were saying, isn't like X-Men supposed to make a comeback too?
Yes, the 90s animated X-Men. They're supposed to bring. I mean, that cartoon is sick.
It's so good. Yeah, love X-Men. Yeah. So hopefully, and I'm a big anime buff too, but like those cartoons, they're just nostalgia to me.
Yeah, it's everything from X-Men to Batman and all that stuff. And I would run home to watch Ninja Turtles. And I remember Muppet Babies would come on before Ninja Turtles at like 3:30 in the afternoon. It was just amazing.
I just remember I'm a huge G.I. Joe nut too. But I always feel like they try to bring G.I. Joe back. It just doesn't resonate. It just never, even with The Rock on that movie, it's like, this ain't G.I. Joe. Like, you can't, like, some of that stuff you can't recreate.
Yeah, that G.I. Joe movie I watched, the first one I thought was good. The second one I was like, this is not G.I. Joe at all. This is just The Rock and Bruce Willis blowing some stuff up. Like, it's not. Yeah. But there is a new comic book, and I actually reviewed it. It's with Duke, and he's trapped in the Energon universe, and Starscream is in the comic as well too. And it was good. It was like,
that's it. Yeah, Transformers is another. I never was as big as Transformers nut as I was with G.I. Joe, but I did like Transformers, and I know they would always have mismatches and stuff like that too. That was always fun.
Yeah, Cherry Bomb says, just bring back everything from the 90s. Bring it all back.
Bring it all back. Bring back MTV when it was MTV and all that stuff.
Oh man, did you have a favorite music video growing up? Because I was a huge music video guy.
Nookie comes to mind.
Oh yeah, okay.
Orgy, Blue Monday. Remember that band?
Oh wow, okay.
All that stuff, yeah.
Damn, I was actually supposed to go see Limp Bizkit last year, and we got in line for the concert, and they canceled it while we were in line. Yeah, down in Florida, because they wanted to do a mosh pit, and they didn't. The casino was like, no, we're not doing a mosh pit. Limp Bizkit's like, no, we're doing a mosh pit, and they're like, no. Concert cancel.
It's not the same anymore. It's just not the same.
No. Yesenia wants to know if either of us have read the Gangrel comic book yet.
No, I didn't even know he had one, but that would be pretty badass.
Yeah, he does. It's a one-shot issue. It's about his life. It's
Oh wow.
yeah, it's really good. It's a really good comic book. He kind of was selling it at shows and stuff like that, and it's it's a one-shot independent comic. So yeah, it's definitely a good comic to read. Now, Cream Mania, how many people do you fit in that arena? And do people need to buy their tickets early? Is this thing going to sell out? Like, what advice are you giving for people that want to come to this event?
H2O, it's almost like a Fight Club feel. We can fit a couple hundred in the building. It's a smaller venue, but I would say definitely hit me up and pre-order because even before we started this recording, half the front row is already sold out. So, and I had people reserve tickets coming from like Canada. I had somebody from Illinois, a couple people coming from Las Vegas, even Europe. So it's insane. And which I was predicting this, that people be just all gravitating to Philly. And I'm not even, and that's just, just a small spectrum. Cause I feel that a lot of people from New York and the New England area are really going to be coming down too for this. So, it's just going to be wild. So yeah, definitely hit me up and reserve those tickets because that's the best way to get a seat in that building. Or you have to stand.
I've seen that. It's a very intimate setting and it's a very enthusiastic setting at the same time.
It's raw. I feel like H2O is very much like very hardcore where IGB is very lighthearted. It's like the yin and the yang. So, but it's just so awesome.
Now, in addition to the event that you're putting on Wednesday, you got any other cool stuff going on? Mania weekend just for yourself?
Yeah, I have Thursday afternoon. I believe it's SHP. I can't remember the name right now off the top of my head, but I know it's a Thursday afternoon show. I might have a Thursday night show. I have a Friday night show on the outskirts of like Woodbury, which is like real close to Philadelphia. They're doing I think it's going to be like a big like mega show of a couple companies are doing a show Friday night. So yeah, and I might even have some even more stuff because there's stuff popping up left and right this weekend.
Now this is my wife and I actually just kind of decided yesterday. We're like, let's go up for Mania weekend. So we are going to come up from Miami for the weekend. So the only Mania weekend experience that I've had was 2021. So it was like just when the pandemic was, it was just kind of like finally, like, because Mania was supposed to be here in Tampa in 2020. Obviously got canceled 2021. And everything was kind of like, even WrestleCon was like still social distance stuff. And, it was a very weird time. So have you done any other Mania weekends anywhere else? And if so, like, what is there to expect from this whole world of crazy wrestling?
I have, but I feel that pretty much you said it, but I just think that this one, because it's Philly, and Philly is known for wrestling. I'm going to say it right now, Scumbag City. It's a Scumbag City, and it's going to be so wild. Like I recently did a Philly show, early last year in December, and it was wild. It was like ECW crowd, and it was insane. I was like, whoa, the energy. So, what to expect? It's just going to be chaos. It's going to be so much fans. Like they come from all over, but I'm ready for it. I wish it was like, I'm ready. I wish it was next week, but I'm like, oh God, because it's a lot still to do. But yeah, it's going to be so, because we haven't had a WrestleMania in 25 years, and again, Philly, it's going to be so nuts.
Yeah, I've only we drove through Philly. I think it was 2 years ago. We were on our way up to Pennsylvania, to Scranton, for at the Office. There was a huge The Office TV show convention that year, and we were heading up. We did New York Comic Con, all that stuff, and AEW just happened to be in Philly the exact Wednesday that we were driving through. So I've had a little bit of an experience with the Philly crowd. Being a Miami fan, I've had Eagles fans down here. I've been in the stadium, and Philly is, the crowd is just, it's a completely different animal, man. It's a different animal.
You insult the Eagles, you're done. You're
done. Even if they're the away team, you can't do that. You cannot do it.
They're so done. You're so done. Phillies too, but Eagles, no. But I actually wrestled a bunch of times up in the Scranton area. I actually like wrestling up there. It's a lot of fun. But again, that's another engine compared to
yes. Philly is like its own entity onto it. So like we like to say Miami is its own like little like country unto its own from the rest of Florida. Like I feel like Philly's its own little like just unique pocket.
Pittsburgh's kind of like that too. I feel like Pittsburgh's kind of like that too, but not like Philly. People are like, oh, Pittsburgh's like Philly. Like, no, it's not. No.
My family grew up in the Pittsburgh area, and I would go up every summer to the Pittsburgh area, and it's fun. And the fans are super passionate, but there's definitely a different vibe to the Pittsburgh and Philadelphia fans for sure.
Oh yeah.
Now, when you're booking stuff like this, like Cream Mania or any other shows, what are some of like the toughest challenges you come across to making sure like the shows go off as smooth as possible?
I always say in wrestling, there's always something, because there really is. There's always something. Like I'm always, I've been doing it for a while now, so I kind of like I even tell other promoters, get everything done. Don't wait till last minute. Get stuff done a week or and a half before the show, even 2 weeks. It's always usually a week for me, but get everything done as much as you can. So when you go to the show, you don't have to worry about it. And you're not like, oh God, because it could be so overwhelming. Like, and then I wrestle on top of it, which other people are like, you're crazy. I'm like, oh, wrestling's the easy part. The promoting and everything like that is so hard. So with this one though, it's just great because all the talent's gonna be in the area for all the stuff going on. So yeah, it's almost like you can really just who's around. Oh, let's go. And you just gotta just go with the flow and just have fun. And don't go for budget either, because a lot of people like to do that and they don't make their money, and then they can't run again. I'm like, oh well, gotta.
I would say budget has got to be the toughest thing, right?
Budget and
no,
dealing with other wrestlers can be a pain sometimes.
What would you say is, 14 years now you're doing this, from where you were 14 years ago to where you are now, what would you say is maybe the biggest growth that you've had, that you've learned about yourself in this journey?
You definitely mature in wrestling. You definitely learn that I learned this a long time ago, but I'll still say you just can't take yourself too seriously. You have to get over yourself. Like you can't, look at me, look what I do. My God, I got just and always I like saying this, like if one door closes, many more will open. Always in wrestling, always. That's so true. And I've learned a lot. There's a lot. Definitely, literally figured out what Stan Stylez really is and what it can really do. Like I was saying earlier with the gimmicks and stuff. And at the end of the day, we're men and women. We're people too, and we go out there and do our scripted fights in our underwear. So have fun. That's what this is.
Now, I know you're in Philly and WrestleMania is in Philly. This particular show that we're talking about is in Jersey, but I don't want people to think, because it's in Jersey, it's so far away. Yeah, it's 20 minutes, right? 25 minutes, right? It's right across. I MapQuested it and I looked and I'm like, it's like right across the bridge then. So it's not. You
got to come now since you're coming down. You got to come to this. You're going to be like, oh my God.
Dude, it's on my list. I told my wife this morning. I was like,
it's so good to watch it on IWTV. They're like, but it's when you're there and you feel that energy, you're like, oh my God.
I don't think I can have you on here, tell you that I'm coming to Philly and then not come to your show, right? That would be like sacrilegious, right?
I had so many, and this is what I really love about it, because I had so many wrestlers, fans, of course, always fans first, but I had so many wrestlers like, yo, I love your show. Like, Vita Von Star was at the last show. She's like, dude, I love it. I want to come back as much as possible. This is this is my fun, one of my funnest shows. I was like, it makes me feel so good.
Yeah, because like my wife actually really enjoys the independent wrestling. That's like her favorite thing to watch more than the big time leagues and stuff like that. And we go to a bunch of shows down here. We really love supporting the guys and girls that are really working hard. And we love to see the ones like Sky Blue that I've had on the channel rise up to the next level, and Layla Gray that we've had on the channel rise to that next level. Luke Curtis, a couple of them, like we get really pumped to see them. And we love the passion, we love the hard work. We really try to go to as many shows as possible to support, and that's what our Mania weekend is going to be. A lot of it is going to be based around is like going to as much independent shows as possible.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And I'll tell you this about Philly. Philly has great food. So there's so many places to eat. Jersey too, but Philly, I always say if you go to Philly, especially now with all the wrestling, the food, there's some really good any pizza. We call them, I don't know if you probably call them subs, we call them hoagie shops, all kinds of cheesesteaks. Can't go wrong.
Right. Now we did do the they have the two cheesesteaks, I think it's Geno's and
Pat's, yeah.
And Pat's, like they're right next to each other. Is there a king of the Philly cheesesteak up there, or is it one of those two, or is it someplace else maybe that we don't know about?
Pat's guy, they're like the tourist attractions, but my favorite Steve's Princess Steak's my favorite, which is like there's a couple of locations. There's actually like one maybe like 5 minutes from my house. So yeah, but I always say Steve's is my favorite.
Okay, yeah, because what we did, we ordered like one steak from each place, and we sat down and probably what most people do, right? And they just divide them.
They're all good. In my opinion, they're all good, but everyone has their preference.
Yeah, no, I love myself a good Philly cheese. I'm gonna have to hit you up for some food suggestions, right? When we get up there.
So much.
Yeah. Now, is there anything else we should know about Stan Stylez? What's coming up? Any cool stuff you got going on?
Man, always cool stuff.
Always cool stuff.
Always cool stuff. What's coming up? This Friday I have Voltage Wrestling. I believe it's in Waynesboro. Which is like on the border of like, is it Waynesboro? Like, I can't think if it's PA or West Virginia. It's like on that border. It's in whatever. Just look at my social media. But there's Voltage Wrestling, and then I have Focus Pro in Massachusetts Saturday night. So 2 shows this weekend.
Two shows this week.
I think okay. So Friday, I'm teaming with Brittany Blake. We're taking on Danny Moe and Facade, which is going to be killer. Because this match actually supposed to happen last year, but got rained out. It was supposed to be an outside bar show. It got rained out. So I'm like, no, we got to do this match. And then I'm wrestling Love Doug for Focus Pro, which should be insanely good. Because I love Doug. He's a good character. He's a good wrestler.
Well, now that we've got our eyes set on Cream Mania, when can we start expecting some match announcements to get really hyped for this thing, or we just gonna start rolling out more guests first?
Whenever my graphics I have it mapped out almost pretty much. It's fully mapped out, but if I were to guess, probably I was thinking maybe like February, March, we'll get some matches out. People have been asking, but just for the people I have out right now, they're like, oh hell yeah. So they know I'm always, my creative juices are flowing. I like to book different matches that no one else hasn't even thought of. Like that's one of my big things I like to do.
Yeah, it's like you just said February, March, and I'm thinking, oh my God, yeah, it's not till April. Like you're right, it still feels so far away, but it's yet so close at the same time.
It'll go so fast. I've learned that. That's another thing I learned with wrestling. Like you're like, oh man, like I have a show in 2 months, 2.5. It'll be here before you know it. And we're like, oh shit, it's only 3 weeks away. It's a week away. Oh God, like it always happens like that.
It's like that's what life. Once you get a little older, it's like we waited so long to grow up, and now it's just whoosh.
Sometimes I wish I can not grow up.
Right? Well, that's why we love professional wrestling, so we don't have to grow up. We can have that little bit of time.
Oh yeah.
Well, Stan, is there anything else you want to touch on tonight?
Man, I think we covered a lot of it. It was good. Just keep supporting wrestling. Like you said, you can watch wrestling. There's so many different streaming platforms, which is great too for like fans all over fans in like in other countries. But there's nothing like going to an independent wrestling show and watching it live. That's the main support that we as wrestlers and promoters love. Like we want the butts in the seats. We want smiles on the faces and them having so much fun. Because that's literally what this is all about. So, yeah, just continue to support professional wrestling.
Perfect. So where can they follow you at then?
Okay, so I'm all over the place. I would say just put Stan Stylez with Z in and I'll come up. But Intergender Bonanza on Instagram and IG Bonanza on Twitter. Intergender Bonanza on Facebook. And Stan Stylez. I think I'm Stan Stylez IGB on Twitter/X. Yeah, but if you just Google Stan Stylez in a search engine or whatever, I'm there. I'll come up.
Yeah, you just type it into YouTube, you get a whole list of matches.
Yeah, on YouTube. Yes, my YouTube is pretty good. I almost have like close to 40K subscribers on my YouTube. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, even just going to your Instagram, it's so easy to find everything else on there that you need to find out with the intergender wrestling, and you made it very simple, very easy for everybody. So we appreciate that.
Always.
All right. Well, Stan Stylez, thank you so much for joining me here on Tone In Entertainment this evening.
No problem.
And guys, if you're in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area and you're going to be there on that Wednesday night, the Intergender Bonanza, Cream Mania, Wednesday night, it's just right outside of Philly in New Jersey. It's going to be hot. It's going to be fire. I've seen the YouTube videos. Now I got to see it in person. I'm pumped. I just think it's going to be an absolute blast. I can't wait. So
I can't wait either, man. I can't wait to see you and meet you too.
Definitely, for sure. We're going to have a good time out there. Yeah, I mean, come on. Let's go April. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm ready. All right, guys. If you like interviews like this with Stan Stylez, guys, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can stay tuned in here to Tone In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.